I got $1 million cause my money right.
Money.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Keeping Your Money Show with Jamie Westenbarger. Remember to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/keepingyourmoney. Or for informative articles and market updates every week, just click like at facebook.com/keepingyourmoney or go to keepingyourmoney.com and click on the Facebook symbol. And now, here are your hosts, Jamie Westenbarger and Bart Steindler.
All right, welcome back to the Keeping Your Money Show. I'm Jamie Westenbarger, joined as always by Bart Steindler. We've been discussing Social Security and Medicare, where those are going, important dates to know for your estate planning. If you missed any part of the show, you can always find it on our website. Just go to keepingyourmoney.com. If you're wondering what we're going to talk about next week or the week after or anything like that, if you go to Facebook and like our page, just go to facebook.com/keepingyourmoney or click on the little Facebook emblem on our website at keepingyourmoney.com. You will be able to like our page, and then anytime we get ready to do a show, we send out notifications about what we're going to talk about that weekend. So you can see ahead of time. Maybe you got some plans this weekend, and you're like, boy, I really want to catch the show. What are they talking about? Oh, all right, it's a best of, so I don't have to worry about it. Or, oh, that's a topic I'd really like to hear. You can see all of that right on our Facebook page. And I'll remind you can email me anytime, info@keepingyourmoney.com is the email address. I do respond to all of those emails personally, and I'm happy to answer any questions, help you with anything you're working through, or maybe you got something you want us to talk about on the show, and we'd be happy to do that as well. So the U.S. News put out an article, and I liked it because this is how we feel, but it's nice to hear, a journalist kind of put this together too. Because the crux of the article was why you should be working with a financial advisor in retirement. And they started out saying, look, understandably, some financial advisors can have a bad reputation. Many people feel that you just pay a financial advisor, whether it's commissions or fees or whatever. And, what am I really getting for that? The Dave Ramseys of the world have, just lambasted the use of a financial advisor. But time and time again, we keep seeing that, the idea of just investing in an index, in times especially like what we're seeing right now, can be extremely stressful for people. And so I thought there was some really good stuff in here to talk about how a financial advisor can help you and how a financial advisor earns the money that they make. Now, I will say, I think there's some caveats to this. I think they need to be independent. If you're dealing with an advisor that works for a bank or a particular company that's one of the big conglomerates out there,
and the way is every product that they're showing you, every fund that they show you has the name of the company on it.
Right.
That's a red flag signal.
Yeah. If you're not getting independent advice, then you probably are feeling like you're paying some fees for maybe not all that much stuff. But if you find a good independent financial advisor, then there are some great things they can do. The first one that I think is really key, especially as you're going through your retirement years, is the idea of crisis management. Transitioning the day-to-day management of your portfolio to your spouse or your heirs is pretty much seamless when you have a good financial advisor. You don't have to think about, my spouse really isn't into this. This is my thing. I do this all the time. One day I'm not here. What does he or she do? Or my kids, God bless them. I finally got them out of the house. But if I just turn this portfolio over to them, how quickly will it be spent? Having a financial advisor can really help move those family assets a lot more efficiently. And you can place things in force many years ahead of when something happens to you so that your legacy continues and isn't just kind of shriveled up and gone because of mismanagement after you're gone.
What you say, Jamie, really hits home to a couple of meetings I've had in the last month. Both of them were with couples that are in their 70s, and I've been working with them for quite some time. One of the spouse in each of these couples is pretty well engaged about what's going on with the finances. The other one is about as disengaged as you could be. Mm-hmm. And so the question comes from the engaged spouse, what happens when I'm not here? How is my spouse, who really isn't into these financial items and really doesn't have a great understanding of how all this stuff works, how is that person going to go on if I'm not here?
Yep, absolutely.
And in both cases, the answer was, well, you have this relationship with me. I've been your advisor. We've taken it step by step over the years. We've worked on the plan. Everything's going fine. If you're not here, then I'm the person that transitions that to your spouse. I'm the person that's going to be there to explain it to that person and, help with all of the things that need to be changed, saying, hey, now, he's not here anymore. We need to change the will. We need to change accounts and so forth like this.
Yep. In kind of tying into the same thing with that, one thing working with an advisor can do too is it guards against the potential of cognitive and physical declines in retirement. Even if you're an expert at creating this stuff yourself, there's a very good possibility you could experience a cognitive or physical health issue that faces you. And you might think that now is too early to be considering that, but when it happens, it'll be too late.
Right.
And so it's kind of the idea of, okay, why don't you spend some time now finding the advisor that fits you, that you feel comfortable with, so that if and when that does occur, you're in good hands and you don't have to worry, or your spouse doesn't have to worry about, what now?
And that cognitive degeneration, it's very common to see that in the mid-'80s and '90s, but it's not exclusive to that age group.
Right.
And I know, once again, a personal
early
experience.
Alzheimer's can come on.
I was talking with somebody, and it was socially 6 months ago. Person's about 65, 66 years old, seemed fine. Talked to that same person at an event, 4 or 6 months later, and all of a sudden they're kind of seeming distant. I didn't know what the problem was. Turns out they have early onset of some dementia.
Yep.
So it can happen quickly, and you don't think that this just happens to people in their 80s and 90s.
Yep, absolutely. This next one I think is really important, and it may be counterintuitive to sometimes what people think of when they think of a financial advisor. But the idea that a second opinion on your spending plan can really help you actually live a much more full retirement. We say all the time that if you're good at accumulating money and you have many years till you retire, you may very well not need a financial advisor right away. You can find some low cost, index driven types of investments. And if you're in your 30s or 40s, sock the money away, and grow it, and you probably can save some money there. But when you move into retirement, the place where people really struggle is as they're getting ready to retire, how do they turn that money they've accumulated into income? And one of the most likely things we see is they spend too little because they're afraid they're going to run out of money. And I'm sure you can agree with this, Bart. I've met with people time and time again where they've said, well, we'd really like $50,000 a year, but I know we probably can't do that. And we run the numbers and say, actually, you could probably do $70,000 a year. And they're shocked. They can't believe it. Well, if they would have lived under their own budget, they would have kept themselves from doing many of the things they wanted to do in retirement, only to leave this huge nest egg to a beneficiary when they could have enjoyed their retirement much more.
There's a retirement writer who wrote something I always like to refer to when we talk about this. And he says, you will do one of two things. You'll either take out too much money, which may result in running out of money eventually, or you will take out too little and forfeit the retirement you could have had.
Yep.
And working with an advisor can help you define what that is. I mean, why go through your retirement denying yourself things that you can afford?
Absolutely. And, that's another point. This kind of ties in the next one where a financial advisor can really be a voice of reason. And, everyone likes to talk about how in 2008 they held on, they knew things would come back, and all of that. And if you were working and still contributing to your retirement, I bet that's exactly what you did. If you're a smart investor, that's what you did. But I'm going to tell you something. When you're retired and you're taking money out of that portfolio and you see losses like that, it's really hard to hold on. It's really hard to convince yourself that you're doing the right thing. And that's where that third-party independent financial advisor can be a voice of reason that can show you the studies and the data and the various different research that they've looked into and done to help you realize that it's going to be okay. And the flip side of that is most people we come in, even the most intelligent investors we meet, most of the time, the vast majority of the time, they don't actually have a plan for what happens when that happens. And one thing a financial advisor can really do for you is help you create a plan. Good markets, bad markets, this is what we're going to do to make it okay for you in retirement. And the peace of mind of that, and just staying the course when you may have gone to cash, that alone can pay the lifetime fees of a financial advisor.
Right. How about not worrying during those times and going out and enjoying your retirement?
Yeah, what's your peace of mind worth?
Because you set up a plan that's going to work in either environment.
Yep. And then the last thing, and this is something that we're real big proponents of, and that is the networking that can come from the other professionals your financial advisor can introduce you to. You know, Bart, we have a number of highly qualified professionals that we've gone through and really sorted through and done our due diligence on. And, you know, sometimes we work out some exclusive pricing and that type of thing where whether it's a CPA or it's a mortgage guy or it's an estate planning attorney like we were talking about in the last segment, you know, we've sorted through, you know, what's out there to find people that we know are going to take good care of our clients and are going to do it affordably and are going to do what they need done. So you don't have to go to the yellow pages. A good financial advisor can connect you with the right dots.
And for, you know, those people who listen to us, we're in Grand Rapids, and a lot of people listen to us in other cities and podcast us around the country. We do have connections in other markets too. So, you know, just because you're not around here, you need somebody in the locale that you're in, there's a possibility we can help you out there too.
Absolutely. So if you need an advisor, give us a call. 888-98-MONEY is the number, or you can find us on the web, keepingyourmoney.com. All right, coming up next, Shannon Simon is going to stop into the studio and talk about the 3 mistakes that will completely derail your retirement right here on the Keeping Your Money Show.